What's cracking, everybody? This is Charles with Cars and Comics by Charles, and in today's video is a mystery whodunit. Who stole my $20,000 submission? Was it FedEx or BGS, formerly known as Beckett Grading Services? Stay tuned. All right, so as disturbing as this is going to be to talk about, it did happen to me earlier this year in 2021. So I did a submission for 27 cards to BGS. Why I chose BGS? Who knows? I mean, I just recently got back into, grading cards. I was always kind of a rock card guy. And actually back in the day, I remember BGS competing with PSA. Now I just looked at price only, didn't realize that PSA actually garners a much bigger valuation for any card. Had I known that, wouldn't have sent it to BGS. But anyway, let me go through the facts and you guys be the judge. The whole point of this video is for other people in the comments to kind of discuss, maybe even discuss if this has happened to you and what the resolution was. And this is really to help collectors so that this doesn't happen to them. And it's a cautionary tale. So anyway, went to FedEx, packaged up my 27 cards. Of those 27 cards, 6 of them were in slabs. And they were basically all the same card. It was a Shaquille, no foil, classic rookie card. It's LP1. So if anyone that's familiar with those, you'll see the picture here. But it's basically a famous insert, Shaquille's first insert that came out. But this version had no foil on it. So what I did is I went out and I bought a bunch of BCCG, which is Beckett's lower tier grading system. I bought a bunch of those. I found 6 of them over the last 5 years. I think this card's gonna be worth something someday, so I've just been snatching them all up. Decided, you know what, why don't I send them in and get them graded through BGS? Anyway, so that's what I did with those cards. They were the only ones that were in slabs, so what I did is I packaged those together in rubber bands and then separately because they were hard plastic in the slabs. And then with the remaining cards, I did your typical, you send them in your card saver 2 with the penny sleeve inside, so they're nice and rigid, but they're, it doesn't take up a lot of space. And I stacked the 21 cards separately, but also sandwiched in between 2 cardboard pieces, but they were all in the same box, all 27. So what I did is I packaged them all up, did the paperwork for BGS, took them into FedEx, and called it a day. So I thought. I got an email about a week later, and you'll see the email here from BGS, and I thought it was concerning when I first saw it. They did send it to me after hours, which was really weird, after their hours. So even though I was pissed off, wanted to talk to them, I thought that was really sneaky because, obviously I'd be pissed off, emotional. So I thought, okay, whatever, I'll wait till the next day to reach out to them. So I read in the email, you'll see here in the email, it says specifically that the only cards that made it were the slabbed cards. Oddly enough, you'll see the exact paperwork here, a copy of it. You'll see it on the desk as well. The desk from their desk, in the email that they sent me with the actual form, nowhere on the form do I indicate that something's slabbed or not slabbed. So I saw this as a tell. For me, it seems very suspicious that they would know that the rest of them weren't slabbed. The only people that should know that is myself and the people who maybe stole the cards. But the fact that they were saying that, which was a little odd. So when I called up their regional representative and talked to him the next day, and I asked, I said, so what cards made it? What didn't? He said, the slabbed cards made it. I said, okay, I'll ask you again. What cards made it? The slabbed cards. Then I said, well, where on the paperwork does it say slabbed? Where does it say non-slabbed? That's when the backtracking, and I could tell when someone is like, uh-oh, this doesn't add up. Now, I'm not saying the regional manager is the one who stole the cards. There's no way for me to know that, but it is weird that they at Beckett knew that only the slab cards made it when there's no way to tell. Now, I'm not ruling out that someone at FedEx could have easily have opened a package as well. It does have a destination to go from where I live, which is Newport Beach, to their facility in Texas. And along the way, people could open up a package, they could see that it's BGS, and they could get to it as well. So it's really just a question of who did it. There's no other parties that could have stolen it in the process because it was only between FedEx and BGS. I will have to add, though, that I wasn't happy with the way BGS took care of the situation. Rather than saying, hey, I'm so sorry, and being empathetic, they were very disgustingly asshole about everything. And when I talked to Mike Gardner, at one point I said, I don't know what to do. Should I go through litigation? I was freaking out. Because mind you, I haven't said this yet, but the total of my cards were about $20,000. And I'll go through the cards near the end of the video so you kind of see what got stolen. But it's $20,000. That's a lot of money to get stolen, and for somebody to be like, you know what? I don't know what, actually his exact words were, I don't know what you're expecting from me. Sympathy? Maybe you can call FedEx and get that. What? What kind of customer service is that? Mind you, just got my card stolen. That was a little weird to me. Then he went onto this rant. I'm also a collector. Another red flag. How are you a collector and you're part of the grading process? Like, how is that even legal? But then again, this is the same company that also makes a price guide, or they were the most known for a price guide, and they're grading their own stuff, and their employees are also collectors, and they're not hiding it. That's weird. A lot of red flags. It just screams that there should be more oversight in the industry. There's a lot of different things that are happening. I could talk more in other videos about, my take on inserts and even the credibility of some of these card companies when it comes to delivering those inserts, and that's a whole different story. But anyway, to have all this going down just had a bad taste in my mouth. And the sad thing is, they said, well, reach out to your carrier, see what they can do. Well, yeah, no shit. Like, that's common sense, right? Like, I mean, I'm going to do that anyway. And sadly enough, because I knew it was just a single quick destination, it was wrapped really well, all my items, I thought, well, I'm not going to put insurance on $20,000 worth of cards. What it ends up doing, I know what for FedEx, I found out later on that they only, without anything, they just, FedEx Ground only does $100. But when I talked to the manager at the Newport Beach location, she had told me that in order for you to do collectibles, it's like a different process. So this is something good to know. If you're just paying for insurance, you're stating an amount, it's actually a separate tier when it goes to collectibles. You have to be aware of this because it may not cover you even after you pay for insurance. Kind of tricky and shady, but you definitely want to document everything, because that's what they were asking me after the fact, and from other times dealing with FedEx or UPS or United States Postal Service. I mean, nobody really does this. You have to take pictures as you send it off. They want all this proof, and they're just looking for reasons to deny you. So it's something to keep in mind. I've got a video too on how to send stuff and still get recordings at the Postal Service, which is crazy. You do get weird looks, but now I found a strategy that works for me that allows me to send stuff out. I still get it on video, and I actually get myself packaging the items, not just wrapping them up afterwards, but actually dropping them inside the box with the handle, and it's all done on one take, one video shot. So if later on they say, oh, it was missing or damaged or stolen, now I know. I always buy the insurance. It covers me fully, and I've got documentation, because people, I'm sure, out there do send empty boxes, pay for the insurance, and then say, oh, well, and this is a way for them to cover their butt. But you got to imagine it's also a way for you to cover your butt by taking the video. But if you don't do that, there's a chance that this could happen to you where you're not covered at all. So I got a nice, beautiful check. You'll see the picture here from FedEx for $100. And they added on, they were nice enough to add on the shipping I paid. Yay, I got like $112 for losing $20,000 worth of cards. And sad thing is, I followed up various times with BGS. They kept focusing on the fact that, you mentioned litigation. I said, well, yeah, if I have to sue, or I don't know what route. If you mention that word, like, and then they said, what do you want to do? Do you want your cards to be graded? At that point, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? What, are you going to hold my cards hostage, my 6 Shaq cards, because I might sue? Like, how's that even legal? So this is the kind of clowns that we're dealing with that honestly have terrible customer service. And this makes me a lot worried. I was going to try out CBCS, which is their comic book division. But as you can imagine, this is the same company, Beckett Grading Systems, that does CBCS, which is their comic book grading division that competes with CGC. So the question you have to ask yourself is, can you trust them with doing what's right, especially when things get overlooked? You may hear from leadership, like I heard from the regional manager. I heard from their higher-ups as I reached out to them. A lot seem like excuses. Do they not have control of what's going on the lower end of, in the shipping department and their intake department? And that's very concerning, because things are being lost. Like I said, leave a comment below if this has happened to you, but also if you're an employee, previous employee, or somebody that has worked there, it'd be nice to shed some insight, get a future conversation. I'd love to have you on a podcast talking lifetime about some of the problems that we see within the industry, especially as it pertains to grading. But I hope you guys got some value from this video. And as I leave you guys here, you see that the main card that was stolen was a Spider-Man hologram from Impel 1990. Mine was out of a $3,000 box that I bought. It was in perfect condition. It would have got a 9.5, maybe even a 10. My estimate is that's a $15,000 card at a 9.5. It's a shame. And, to the asshole out there that stole my card, I hope the worst for you, and I hope karma comes back to you. But really, if we're able to catch this person, I'll incentivize anybody, and I'll give you half of what I get from going after them, because it is a federal crime to steal from anything that is Postal Service related. All right, guys, hope you got a lot of value from this, and I look forward to you joining my future videos.